Hello and welcome to this sixth intro to LaTeX tutorial. And today we're going to talk about how we can do math calculations and how we can later on then draw some math. We're not going to draw right now, but we are going to just set up basic math environment. So, as you remember from the last time, we have our document here in LaTeX, and we have some images, we have a bunch of stuff set up. Let's try and delete all of this because we're not really going to use it. So scroll down here, remove it all. Oh, okay. So to set up math, you can just do $, write your math. Let's try and keep this simple. And end with a $, and compile. And it's not going to do the calculations for you. It's just going to show you the numbers. But this is a way you can do it, and if you write some text in front of it and some text behind it, let's take, there we go. Then we can actually see how the text will look, and we will have the math in between. This is a very easy way to just do simple math, but if you, for example, look here, we have a divided sign. Maybe we want something else. Maybe we want to say this is equal a fraction, and we can then write \frac, 2 curly brackets, the first number, 2 curly brackets, the second number. And when we've done this, we will be able to see how it looks. As you can see here, we have a nice fraction inside our text environment. But sometimes you might not want to actually have the math inside the text. You want to be able to have it as a picture you can reference to. It will jump around a little bit just like the picture, but you can better have it set up nicely. To do this, you should write begin as you have done as many times before, but this time you write equation. Then we can just end the equation. And inside here we can then write something. Let's try and write fraction. Then let's say 152. Should be a very easy fraction. And as you can see here, we have a nice math setup, and we have a reference to it. And if we want to reference to it, we do as we do with the figure, we write a label. I normally call them EQ for equation. We can write this as equation 1. Then up here we can say look at equation ref EQ 1. Oh, that's a question, exclamation mark. And then let's recompile and see if we can actually reference to it. As you can see here, we can easily reference to the equation. Now let's try something different. Let's try and say begin equation, end equation. And in here, let's try, instead of just doing some simple math, then let's try something with some Greek letters. And let's see what happens when we recompile it. And with all these letters, you also have to do the backslash in front, so LaTeX knows what you're actually talking about. As you can see here, it looks nice and smooth, and it's an easy way to do it. And again, we just get the new number for what equation we are currently using. And then let's write times because we want to multiply. But this time we want to do something else. We maybe want to multiply with a square root. And the square root we're going to multiply with might be a dot product of, I don't know. And for dot product we can say c dot for a small dot. And let's see what happened. As you can see here, we have a nice multiplication sign for times. And then we have here the square root and the two signs in here for omega and phi, and the dot product. But actually this is equal to something completely different. This might be equal to gamma in the power of 4. As you can see here, we now have also a in the power of, or a squared. And this way you can easily do simple math calculations. You will still need your calculators to do them, but you can write them up very, very nicely. There's one thing I want to show you more, and that is if we, for example, have a use package called AMS math, then up here in the text, normally we would just use, for example, frac, and the fraction would be placed with this about the height as the text. As you can see here, we have about the height of the text. But if we want to use something where we force it to be a little higher, we can do defrag. And then that way we will force it to be much bigger if you really want a big calculation inside your text. You might not want that, but it's a way you can do it. The same happens if we, for example, in normal fraction down here in our math environment, normally we would just use frac, but if you want to force a small fraction, you can use tfrac, because that will just be smaller. Compile this. We'll be able to see that these two kind of switched places, because fraction will look at where are we, what fraction should we use. But if you want to force to use a bigger or smaller, you can use defrag for the big one and tfrag for the small one. And that's pretty basic. If you want to get to know where we can actually find these Greek letters, then we can go to dexterity 5. I have no idea how to pronounce it. Okay, it's DEXTERELABS.KIRELABS.org/classify.html. And in here we can just draw something. So maybe we want to draw, I don't know, a pi sign. I suck at drawing, but then it will look and see what is this pi sign called. As you can, see, it did not really help. Let's try again. Let's clear this. Let's write this one, and let's put 2 of those in. And let's wait. There we go. Okay, so we can see we can get different ones here. We can get a pi. We can get a capitalized pi. As you can see here, we need to be in math mode. And to be in math mode, it just means that you either need to be in an equation or between dollar signs. So if we want here, for example, pi, we can just do \pi, or we can do a capitalized pi. The same here if we want, for example, a capitalized delta. We just do a capitalized delta. And as you can see here, we now have these nice items. But this can be used for a lot more. If we, for example, need an arrow, sometimes you might need an arrow. Okay, and as you can see here, then we will, for example, have an arrow. This didn't really give the arrow that we're looking for, but I can tell you that in a math document you can use right arrow for right arrow. And I use this sometimes if you want to show the calculation continuing to someplace else. And this website is pretty decent for a lot of stuff. They also have an iOS app. It's good. I'll post a link in the comment below, or in the description. So next time we will talk about, let's see, I'll figure out for next time. So see ya.